It's a long time since the first episodes of Star Wars Rebels Season 1 hit our screens in October 2014. At the time I remember the scepticism that the series may not possess the appropriate Star Wars feel that fans would expect, but it soon started to win over audiences. From Star Wars Rebels Season 1, who were all the Imperial characters of the Galactic Empire? This video lists every Imperial from the series. So sit back and let's begin. From the opening scene of Season 1's first episode called Spark of Rebellion Part 1, the Grand Inquisitor appeared. He is ordered by Darth Vader to hunt down any Jedi who survived Order 66 and lure to the dark side any Force-sensitive children. Grand Inquisitor was a rank which was utilised in order to hunt down and destroy Jedi who had survived the Great Jedi Purge. The Grand Inquisitor was the highest ranked of all Inquisitors and reported directly to Darth Vader. He is next seen in Episode 2 Spark of Rebellion, Part 2, when Agent Kallus reports a rebel cell has been identified, with their leader wielding a lightsaber, in order to understand his Jedi opponents. The Inquisitor studied the records of the Jedi archives from the Imperial Palace. This gave him an advantage in combat, as he was able to understand the Jedi fighting styles. In Episode 5, the Grand Inquisitor suddenly appears at the detainment facility in Stygian Prime. This is the first time the Inquisitor encounters Kanan and Ezra, but they both eventually manage to escape him. In the time that follows, the Inquisitor continues his orders to lure Force-sensitive children to him during Episode 6 Breaking Ranks. Frustrated by Kanan and Ezra, the Inquisitor tracks them down to the asteroid base, where they befriend the mysterious creatures and defeat the Imperial pursuers. However, after several failures to stamp out the Jedi threat, in Episode 13 Call to Action, the Inquisitor and Kallus are sent out to succeed in capturing Kanan by Grand Moff Tarkin to earn back Tarkin's trust. During Episode 14, Rebel Resolve, aboard Tarkin's ship, the Inquisitor tortures Kanan as the Empire hope to gain more information about the Rebels' whereabouts, leading to the final episode of the series, Fire Across the Galaxy. In the season finale, the Grand Inquisitor faces Kanan and Ezra in a lightsaber duel. After the fierce fight, Kanan succeeds in defeating the Grand Inquisitor and ruptures the hyperdrive of Tarkin's Star Destroyer, into which the defeated Inquisitor casts himself to his death. An interesting character from the series was Dravis, who was a politician serving as a member of the Imperial Senate. During the series he posed himself as a dissident senator, which proved successful for the Empire in luring the rebels into traps set by the Imperials. Secretly loyal to the Empire, Dravis first appears in Episode 5, Rise of the Old Masters, pretending to deliver a secret message to the rebels that the Jedi Master Luminary Unduli is alive and is being held at Stygian Prime. However, later after breaking into the facility and lured into a trap, they realise the Jedi Master is in fact dead. Dravis sends out another message on Empire Day, attempting to lure out protesters to be arrested. He urged Imperial citizens to boycott the celebrations. In Episode 12, Vision of Hope, Dravis lures the rebels once again into a trap. He eventually, though, reveals his secret to Hera and Ezra, but fails to kill them, and they escape. Following the failed Imperial operation, Dravis was interviewed by the Holonet News anchor Alton Castle. During the interview, Dravis confirmed that he had recommitted himself to the Empire, and claimed that he wanted to make the Empire a better place through peaceful means. Cumberlane Oresko was an arrogant Imperial officer who was the commandant of Lothal's Academy for Young Imperials, with Taskmaster Grint, who aided him in the management of Imperial military operations on the planet, and also trained cadets at the Academy for Young Imperials. Grint also shared Oresko's arrogance and often enjoyed mocking Lothal's citizens. Lothal was also Oresko's homeworld, and he worked together with Grint to bring oppression to the citizens on the planet. The Commandant is first seen in Episode 1 Spark of Rebellion Part 1, with Grint interrogating a local trader on Lothal for his identification. When Oresko and Grint are falsely called to a Code Red situation, Supply Master Lyste explained they are simply loading crates to the Imperial portal. Shortly afterwards, they are attacked by rebels attempting the heist on Imperial cargo and hopelessly allow the rebels to escape. Throughout Season 1, the two are involved in several rebel skirmishes, in which their failures don't go unnoticed, including in Episode 13 Call to Action. Oresko and Grint again fail to capture the rebels after a pursuit on the outskirts of Lothal capital. Shortly afterwards, Oresko and Grint are summoned to see Governor Tarkin, accompanied by the Grand Inquisitor, Agent Kallus, and Governor Chua. Unfortunately for failing to stop the rebels and risking the sparks of a rebellion on Lothal, the Grand Moff orders the Inquisitor to behead them both with a lightsaber. Baron Valen Rudor, callsign LS-607, was a ruthless and self-centered TIE pilot in the Imperial Navy. During his service, he was transferred out to the Outer Rim planet Lothal to test out new TIE fighter products coming out of Senile Fleet Systems development. Embarrassed several times during rebel skirmishes, he grew to dislike his assignment on Lothal. The Baron makes a brief appearance in Episode 4 Fighter Flight when attempting to apprehend Zeb, running from the stormtroopers, but Zeb manages to commandeer his TIE fighter. Rudor was present at the Empire's 15th anniversary celebration on Lothal, where he was given the honour to take the Empire's new advanced TIE fighter on its maiden voyage. Alton Castle was a journalist working as a broadcaster for the Imperial Press Corps for the Holonet News on Lothal. The Holonet News was a prominent news agency operating within the galaxy that transmitted data via the interstellar Holonet. Holonet News serves several galactic governments including the Galactic Republic, the Galactic Empire and the New Republic. Only appearing briefly in Episode 13 Call to Action, Alton helped to spread propaganda for the Galactic Empire. The broadcaster is seen interviewing Dravis, confirming his recommitment to the Empire. Yogar Lyste held the military title of Supply Master within the Galactic Empire on Lothal. The position meant he was responsible for inventory, distribution of supplies, and weapons for locations in which they were stationed. The Supply Master's main appearance in the series came in Episode 4, Fighter Flight. While the rebels were attempting to steal from the Empire and free a small group of captured locals, known to the rebel Ezra, the Supply Master's convoy and stormtroopers are defeated by the rebels' rescue attempt, to the annoyance of Lyste. Admiral Constantine was a dismissive Imperial Navy officer in charge of the Imperial blockade on Lothal, and later assisting the Empire's rebellion pursuit in Seasons 2 and 3. The Admiral was one of the first generation of Navy officers serving under the Empire. He and his colleagues were responsible for much of the fleet's operational standards and culture. He was dispatched to the Lothal system, where a rebel movement had occurred. Constantine first appears in Gathering Forces Episode 9 on the bridge of his Star Destroyer, tracking the rebels' hyperspace jump escape from Lothal, following the aftermath of the ruined Empire Day celebrations in the capital city. During Episode 11, the Admiral's small fleet of Star Destroyers are blockading Lothal, and his crew detect the rebel ship they were searching for. Constantine initially dismisses the crewman's report as a freighter passing through, but suddenly the ship is revealed and the fleet are ordered by Constantine to open fire. However, the rebels make a hastily escape. The Admiral is also briefly seen on the bridge of Tarkin's Star Destroyer Sovereign in Episode 15, Fire Across the Galaxy. Agent Alexander Kallus was an Imperial Security Bureau officer who was a firm believer in bringing order to the galaxy. He worked tirelessly to suppress dissent on numerous worlds, leading to the hunt for the rebels on Lothal and fighting against the insurgency of Saw Gerrera. Kallus is one of the more recognisable Imperials from Star Wars Rebels. The ISB agent relentlessly pursued the rebels throughout Season 1 and was involved in many skirmishes with them, notably abducting Ezra in Episode 2 and almost defeating the rebel Zeb only to escape his forces. Overall, his efforts on Lothal were largely unsuccessful, leading to the eventual intervention of Force against the growing rebellion by Grand Moff Tarkin's appearance. Kallus played his part in capturing the rebel Jedi Kanan, alongside the Grand Inquisitor, and accompanies Governor Tarkin in Kanan's interrogation. Minister Maketh Chua was originally a graduate of the Imperial Academy. She was governing Lothal while Governor Pryce was away attending matters on Coruscant. Chua was tasked with overseeing Lothal's industries, making certain they all operated at peak efficiency for the Empire. However, the growing rebellion on Lothal was too much for her to handle, even with the help from the Inquisitor and Kallus, and this led to Grand Moff Tarkin arriving to berate her incompetent performance before assuming control against the rebel threat himself. Wilhuff Tarkin was the most senior Imperial to play a significant role in the series. First appearing in Episode 13, Call to Action, the Grand Moff arrives from the Outer Rim territories to stop the rebellion growing on Lothal. Tarkin's sheer ruthlessness is very apparent in the final episodes of Season 1, as he decisively takes over from Chua and executes Oresko and Grint for their constant failures before swiftly striking back at the rebels. However, Tarkin's efforts ultimately resulted in the rebels destroying his own flagship, the Sovereign, and the death of the Grand Inquisitor.